Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
And what's it gonna do?
It doesn't matter how you're doing. Woo! Wheeling, dealing, limousine right, jet flying.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Would you please shut the hell up?
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the human rubble.
What up, what up? Welcome to episode 65 of Keep The Kayfabe. I'm Mike, sitting here with my boys, ready to talk some wrestling. We have a big heel turn going on in AEW. One of the biggest and brightest stars in the wrestling world is getting a little naughty. And we have another list of firings, shocker, in the WWE to run down. One wrestler in particular that we're especially is out of the company. But also, if anybody can find Vince McMahon's golden egg, let him know. Because obviously that is big news in WWE. And pretty much is their life raft right now the biggest topic going on in the company, which is freaking crazy for one of the biggest pay-per-views that used to have significance. But we'll get to all that. Let's get acclimated with the boys real quick. Over in Glendale, somebody who keeps it regal, Steve Grobschmidt. How are you, Grobby?
Keep the kayfabe. We're here.
Oh, man.
For the listeners at home, okay, Steve even had a great moment where when he blew out the candle, the room went dark. It was just bone chilling.
Nice.
I hope it was a lit MKE candle, too. Lit MKE.
Oh, we got
For
four.
all your Christmas needs.
Yeah, we have 4 or 5 of those in this house because you really can't find better candles in the galaxy.
That's true. We have the same for the same
It's
reason.
damn true. Nice. Well, yeah. Very nice intro, Steve. Always bringing it. You heard the man just a second ago over in Bayview. Somebody who keeps it freshly squeezed, Mr. Matt Michelson. How are you, Matt?
Acknowledge me.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Terrible. Just terrible.
But still,
I mean,
it's the stupidest thing.
It is funny.
Some marks think it's cool.
Lots of marks think it's cool.
Lots of Marks,
I
lots
did
of
turn
Mikes,
on-
lots of Johns, everybody.
I turned on Survivor Series just for the hell of it while I was making candles. And, well, just out of curiosity to see who was still actually on the roster, because I kind of forgot. And I did make it all the way to the end. And I had to hear that. If I was playing a drinking game, I would probably be blacked out under the table every time I heard "Acknowledge Me." So, man, talk about beating a dead horse, eh?
Oof.
All right, let's introduce the last member of Keep the Kayfabe. Oh my God, it's Charlie Michael.
Ha. Don't worry, cleaner. I got it under control.
Kenny Omega the Cleaner. What's Kenny up to? I hear he might be kind of like taking a little
beat up,
breather.
dude.
Yeah.
Got a bad shoulder. He's got. I heard he's wrestling with vertigo. He's
Got
Wow.
a much deserved break. I think he's taking.
Yeah, he's been going hard. We're starting another guy about it. He's been going hard since they started. So
For
he
real.
probably needs a 6-month break or so to get his stuff back together.
Well,
Yeah,
he was the. Sorry, Matt.
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say yeah, I heard a story recently. I don't know if you guys follow YouTube all that much. The algorithm really has me dialed in. One of the videos I was pushed recently is a video of Kenny Omega getting a chiropractic adjustment from this guy, Dr.
Yeah.
Bo Hightower, who I feel like does chiropractic adjustments for every pro wrestler that's out there at this point. So it was only a matter of time before he treated Kenny Omega as well. And yeah, Kenny talks pretty openly about just some of the injuries he's put up with. And you can tell throughout the course of the video. I mean, you hardly touch the guy and he's in pain. So
Damn.
yeah, he's about due for some rest, recovery. I think with all the injuries he's accumulated to, it's going to be interesting to see what he treats first and if he prioritizes, his shoulder injuries over his vertigo, over some of the other things he's wrestling through right now. I think Meltzer had made some comment along the lines of he's battling a litany of injuries, I think was the word Dave used. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets better.
He will. And the beauty of it is they got a gift wrapped story when he comes back with the Elite.
No,
So
yeah, he'll be a
it's
face
gonna be
big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I've heard some
Yeah.
great fantasy booking stories about potentially when Kenny Omega returns, he's going to be a baby face, especially after everything he's going through right now and the heel run he just went through. And there's also rumors being kicked around that Kazuchika Okada is going to start wrestling some matches in AEW as well. So
they keep talking. Yeah, they keep talking about him.
yeah, we might see that feud resurrected, which would be incredible for American viewers.
And that Okada rumor, like, it's kind of old. Like, remember we thought we were going to see it? Like, I
I
remember
think
reading
COVID
about
messed that up.
Yeah, like
COVID
6 months
messed it
ago.
up.
Yeah, that'll be
There's,
awesome.
There's some things going on right now where
that
I think
chaos thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say Chaos and the Best Friends now becoming part of the Chaos faction. AEW's doing a real good job of slowly introducing the idea of New Japan's factions. So I think when we do see Okada, it's going to be well earned.
Hell yeah. Yeah, well earned were those belts that Kenny Omega did obtain this year. It's not easy being the best in the world. You're going to go through some bumps and bruises. And there's another man that's going after the world title in AEW, and that is Bryan Danielson. And if you all got to catch Dynamite this last Wednesday, you got to see Bryan Danielson get a little sassy in the ring against current champion Adam Hangman Page. The babyface of the company right now. He's the current champ. He had a great match against Kenny, winning at Full Gear. And Bryan Danielson is entitled to that belt now since he beat Miro for that AEW World Championship Open Challenge. And the man that everybody loved and does love, I like what they're doing with this. I mean, we got to see Bryan Danielson get on the mic and kind of rile up the AEW fans. This was pretty awesome. Steve, I know you were watching and you can weigh in on this. Do you want to kick us off first?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that kind of made that moment. I think, obviously, Hangman's hometown, so you knew Hangman was going to be over like Rover. But yeah, it was like, other than the slam he made on Virginia, like not liking hard work or something, or booing hard work. It was, and then the WrestleMania name drop, which I think that's hilarious that all you have to do is mention WrestleMania and the crowd just boos you incessantly. But it was such a, that guy it just cements how amazing he is, because he can effortlessly go from heel to, or face to heel, and in a believable way, because he's kind of had that swagger all along. It's not like he went out there and just like, what you people need to do is shut the hell up, you idiot. It was very well done and believable, because he is the best, and I mean that's, so he just leaned into it just enough. And AEW is handling this brilliant heel turn in Hangman's hometown. Next week, he's wrestling Colt Cabana in his hometown. I think I heard that he's gonna, they're coming to John Silver's hometown like in a week or two after that. So damn well he's gonna wrestle him in his hometown. So they're gonna just keep that going. And I think, when it settles down, it'll probably be like 50-50 cheers, booing. But no, it works. And I think it gives it a dimension versus two good guys wrestling for the title.
I totally agree. Something I hadn't thought of until, Steve, you were just kind of describing how they're booking this is, in the past, AEW has always booked baby faces to win in their hometown, like every time. And now Bryan Danielson comes in and totally shatters that booking formula. So kind of an interesting wrinkle in how they're actually moving forward with this character. It totally even makes him that much more of a heel, like you said, without it being too far-fetched or feeling like he's overtly trying to be a heel. Just a perfect way to bring him into the picture and keep him too far enough away from Hangman Page where Hangman Page still feels like a babyface.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I didn't know, Steve, you're way ahead of the game on all that. Where did you hear that with all who?
Well, the Cabana thing's confirmed. That was he challenged Colt Cabana on Rampage.
Yeah.
I think on Rampage, or maybe on the show itself. But either way, that one's confirmed for the next Dynamite. And then I think I heard on I heard on What Culture that John Silver's hometown's coming.
Yeah.
So
then, I guess they're going back to Atlanta, and that's where the 10's from, or something.
Yeah.
Like
So
that.
it's like if they planned it that way, they're geniuses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real. That's a good point. You got to wonder, is this just a fun coincidence or long-term storytelling at its best?
With
Exactly.
AEW, I wouldn't put it past them because they're so smart with their writing.
That is pretty exciting, and will like get the viewers to tune in more just to hear the chants who they're going to wrestle. I mean, good for the Dark Order too. I mean, they have the AEW belt in their stable now, which makes the Dark Order more legit. We've always kind of seen them. Well, like when they first came, like in AEW existence, it was kind of like, who are these guys? What are they about? Like we've never really seen it. And then they became like a comedy act a little bit. And then that thing with Brody happened, so then it's like, okay, let's settle down, like let's appreciate it for what it is. And now they're kind of back to, you know, comedy again a little bit, but now they really have significance with the belt in their stable too. So, it's very very interesting.
And
Definitely.
I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of Evil Uno. I think he plays his role well, and he's actually a
Yeah,
pretty
he's a
good
good
wrestler.
wrestler.
And
Yeah, he's a good
that was
wrestler.
a fun, effective match. I mean, he had his moments, and I think I think it was What Culture that said if you would have told me a year ago that Daniel Bryan would be wrestling Evil Uno in an arena where the crowd was cheering for Evil Uno, like you would have never believed that in a million years.
It's a good point. Evil Uno can go for a man his
He
size. He
is,
actually has
yeah,
really good endurance.
Yeah.
Like he
yeah,
can wrestle probably for 20 minutes. I mean,
yeah.
he's kind of pretty top heavy. I think he skips leg day every once in a while. You can kind of tell. But yeah, the man can go. I like him. I'm a
Fills his
fan.
role well. Yep.
Steve, I got to get you a Evil Uno mask for Christmas. I know you'd rock that. That would
I'd
be
wear
good.
it. I'd wear it. Yeah, I'd wear it every day.
And isn't there a little drama going on with Adam Cole right now? You guys mentioned. I didn't see this.
Oh,
Yes,
I just
oh yeah, that's where my line came from.
yeah,
I got it. I got it cleaner.
yeah, because it was Kenny Omega kind of in his little farewell speech, if that was his farewell speech for now.
It was.
Yeah, he was kind of talking about how everybody failed at the pay-per-view. And then, they were saying something about, I think Adam Cole, like, to Charlie's quote, where Adam Cole said something like, "We got this while you're gone." And then,
Yep.
and Kenny Omega's like, "I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Bucks or something."
Oh.
So it's totally like, there's, and
I think,
being the elite, they've had their little friction, like that's in a little more lighthearted way. They've been kind of teasing this for a long time.
yeah, because the way I was talking, the way I think it's going to play could be wrong, but I think they're playing that with him and Fish teamed on Friday. I think they're going to bring in Kyle O'Reilly. I think his contract ends next month. I think they join up with those guys as their old and I also like that part where they win it, and that's you can't say that here,
Yeah.
Undisputed.
Bobby Fish was gonna
that was
do the
cool.
line.
Yeah. Cut it, Brandon.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll be within there. And then I think at some point they're gonna break off, attack the Bucks. Bucks are gonna turn face next year, but I think they're gonna turn on their little faction. I think that's my opinion. But that's my fantasy book. I haven't heard anything about it, but with everything, and we can talk about it in the cuts. But with all this last round of cuts, he'd be a fool to stay at that company.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle O'Reilly, I'm assuming when his contract's up is going to have that 30-day and not the longer one.
That's only if they cut you. If you once your catch, the reason it's kind of like severance, dude. It's kind of if they let you go, they give you a no compete, pay you for 90 days. If your contract ends, you can go wherever you want to the next day.
Oh, so he can be there by the end of he'll be there by January for sure.
Yeah, he could be there in December because I heard it's December 7th.
Oh,
I heard.
And so is Gargano's early December.
Yep. So I have a feeling he might jet too, man. He'd be smart. I would get out of there. That NXT show I quit watching it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's just shit. And I listened to some recaps of it, and they're just
their ratings the last week's
and
ratings
they're dropping.
Terrible,
they're like
terrible.
a little over 500,000. It's going to keep dropping.
Oh, but Vince and Pritchard and those guys know best.
They're so stupid, dude. They have no idea. They have no new talent coming in. That's going to be over. And I'll say it here again. that Braun Breaker dude is not going to get over in the long run. He's hot right now.
Yeah, and he's got a good look, but they'll give up on him.
It's not gonna happen for him because he has no skills. It's not gonna work, dude. Because like I was watching, happened to be in the gym Friday or whatever day it was, and have you guys seen Chad Gable wrestle in a while?
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's fucking incredible, dude. And I was like, yeah, he's insane, dude. It's
He always has been.
He has been, but I just hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, dude, he's fucking really good.
They
dude.
don't know what they got on their hands with him either.
Yeah, and he could be really good. He's a good talker now, but it's like that Braun Breaker, that gimmicks. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe he might be the next Goldberg, but I just don't see it. I don't see it getting over in the long run. I think a lot of these guys, you have to build up. I think you have to build up an indie following for people to like you, and they're building all these guys there. No one likes them, and no one's getting over. You have to get your shit over.
They're doing it in a very old-fashioned way. You know, like put them on TV and people will like them and make them win and people will like them.
Even the old way they did it, when they did it the old way, like I was listening to a show, they used to do, guys would come in from different territories where they were stars. They'd have vignettes. They'd come in and they were trained good wrestlers. This guy's been wrestling like less than 2 years. He doesn't have a lot.
Or Cro-Magnon. He's that guy's
Cro-Magnon. That's gonna be the biggest dud since when they tried to push Drew the first time.
First time, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Vince comes out and says that's his guy, and they assume that'll be good enough.
Yeah, that's gonna be a failure, dude. He got lucky with Roman. I don't see how people could still be on this Roman thing. It's like he just wins all the time. It's horrible.
Did he need to beat Big E with no titles on the line?
Beat him clean, dude. You know? That's why I didn't even waste the time of watching that show, because there are no titles on the line. It was just like it was basically a glorified Raw. Because nothing on that show
mattered.
Nothing mattered. Brand supremacy, what's that matter? Like a guy was saying, they were all guys were on a different brand 6 weeks ago. You know, so what? There's no vested value in brand supremacy.
Charlie, by the way, speaking of brand supremacy, I do love that red hoodie you're wearing. It has a Monday Night Raw look to it.
Bulls, baby. Number one.
Looks fresh.
Yep. What if it said Raw? What if it said Team Raw?
Oh my God. Charlie's got some news of his own. He just joined
the fifth member of Team Raw for Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
WWE shop does fast delivery. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? I had this thing waiting for tonight.
Charlie's the latest member of Hit Row. Oh, wait, never mind.
Ooh. Speaking of Hit Row, did you listen to Busted Open a little bit, that clip on Saturday? If I were you, I'd go back and listen to it, see if anybody can do serious and just listen to the Hit Row when they called in. That fucking big guy, what's his name?
I wish I knew.
He's a top dollar.
Whatever the big guy is, he was an idiot. He got all of them fired, dude. He's just an idiot, dude. He thought he could have pull in the office and stuff, and it's like you weren't even established, dude. But that's why I think it was the Ashanti guy and him on there. And I think Swerve Scott is fucking. He'll go somewhere and make it, but I think he knew that dude was an idiot and got him fired. So I think he has nothing to do with him anymore. Swerve Scott will get picked up by AEW or Impact or New Japan whenever his time is up, because he's good.
Yeah, he's good, really good.
Yeah, he was down with all those guys in the indie, so he'll get picked up. But like that, what's his name? That big dude, whatever. He's garbage. He can't wrestle. He thinks he can. He thought he was bigger than what he was, and he thought he was a made man by making a roster. Yeah, he was like, it sucks, but his B-Fab chick got fired, so he was calling the office bitching about it. And it's like, dude, you don't have.
You got no clout there.
Yeah, you're a nobody, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think he fucked it up and got him all fired, dude.
Damn, I didn't even know that story went that deep.
Oh, it went that deep, dude. He's an idiot, dude. I'll see if you can find that clip on YouTube. But yeah, he fucked that all up, dude.
I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, go back. It's Saturday, and just listen to that little 15, 20-minute clip. It's worth it because he screwed that crew up, you know. And he's like talking about, I can wrestle. I was doing 20, 30 minute on the indies. Never fucking heard of the guy, dude. You know, he just, he's a good rapper. He rapped some good songs.
Is that Top Dollar?
Yeah, Top Dollar. Yeah. Yep. He rapped some good songs. He rapped a song. It's so funny because he rapped a song about when he left about he's available for everybody, and ain't no fucking way in the world that he's going to AEW after he was talking shit with the Bucks about tennis shoes. Dude, he burnt his fucking bridge on that, dude. He better hope Impact or somewhere wants him because he ain't never getting AEW as long as the Bucks are that, you know. There's no way they're letting him in.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, Top Dollar is one of the guys that just got cut. We just mentioned Ashante Adonis and Isaiah Swerve Scott. And this just took place, what, like maybe 5 days ago, something like that?
Thursday evening, like around 7. Because the dude, Ashanti dude on the show said he was watching Thursday Night Football. He missed a call from Laurinaitis. And so then he called him back and he said, hey, you're, budget cuts, and he's like, okay, thanks, and he just kind of hung up on him. Then he's like, wow. They said they kind of knew something was fishy because they were booked for summers. They were booked for Survivor Series. Then they weren't booked. But then they were booked again. Then they were unbooked, and they were like, oh, something's up, dude. Something's up. So yeah, it's a real interesting story, but it's how it's a tale. I mean, WWE keeps me, but it's a tale of how you can fuck your own self up. And
there are those stories out of them.
A job, you know.
It's all a comedy of errors. Every single one of them, it feels like. But I would say Tegan Knox is kind of innocent in all of this. Drake Maverick tried his best. The Shane Thorne guy, I have no clue. But John Morrison.
He was that dude. Sorry? He was one of the dudes. I didn't know it either. He was one of the.
There was that Aussie tag team.
And he's also was in what's that? Reckoning or whatever.
Retribution.
Yeah. So
Retribution.
If you guys think back to the old NXT when it used to be good, I think Shane Thorne was one half of TM61.
That's right.
That's that team, Steve. I think you referred to it. Yeah,
solid,
I actually didn't
team.
even know he was still in WWE, except for I recently heard he was a member of Retribution. So
yeah, he was Slapdick.
Yep.
I would like to see Tegan Knox maybe in AEW. I think she could maybe have a future. She tries hard, but she's super injury prone, so you never really gonna know what you get out of her. But she's got a good look, good work ethic. She's got a diversity of, I think she's like from Wales, isn't she? So maybe she can get a little European crowd, more eyes on the product a little bit. She's gorgeous. My wife actually sat next to her on a flight.
Wow.
Yeah. I told you guys this story, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if I ever told it on the show, but my wife, she was in New Orleans for a singing gig, and she said, like, when NXT was fucking awesome, she was in the terminal at the gate from New Orleans. They just had a show, and then they flew up to Milwaukee because they were going to be having a show at Turner. I didn't have tickets to it because I don't know why I didn't have it. But my wife, she texted me like super early in the morning. I thought I was dreaming. She's like sending me pictures of Ciampa like stretching out.
Oh, you sent those? I seen those. Yep, I seen those pictures. Yep.
Yeah. So she's on the flight with literally every cool NXT guy. Like Damian Priest and Matt Riddle are on the other side of the aisle as her, and like some dude who was sitting in like first class goes back to use the bathroom, and he's like sees all the WWE jackets that they're all wearing, and this guy is just like, so you guys ready to rumble? Being like a real queef, like a douchebag. They're like, ha ha ha. And then Riddle is actually like, I'm gonna slap his ass on his way back or something like that. So
all the cool guys. Yeah, you had the golden age of NXT.
Dude,
I remember that.
Everybody
Pete Dunne
was on
there.
the flight.
Pete Dunne,
Keith Lee when he was good.
Yep, they had
Roger-
all the NXT jackets. I remember the pictures. Yep.
Finn Balor was on there. Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, I remember
when
that.
he
Yep.
was a decent guy.
Before trouble. Yeah.
Right before Rhea Ripley was on the flight. What's her name? Gonzalez was super fresh, and she was she was actually walking out with Rhea Ripley, and you could tell Gonzalez was pissed that nobody like came up to her. This was right after that awesome NXT takeover in Portland. So Rhea Ripley, Dakota Kai, all those other chicks were super over. Nobody even paid attention to Dana Gonzalez, but that was awesome. I actually, met my wife at the airport, had a bouquet of flowers to like give to her, and as soon as I had like an opportunity to take like a selfie with Keith Lee and Riddle, I just like dropped the flowers on the ground to put my arm around him. I should post those pictures.
Yeah, you should.
I gotta post them on our Instagram for sure. But anyway, that was a big tangent.
No, but it's a good story though. It's a great story.
Yeah. John Morrison is out of WWE now. A man who is more loyal than probably any other wrestler to any company. The guy just loves the art of wrestling. He'll wrestle anywhere, anytime, just because he loves it. And they make him do all these douchey things, and then they cut his ass. I mean, you could kind of see the writing on the wall because his wife got canned just in the latest releases.
She was talking shit,
Big time.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, he'll be okay too, dude. He'll probably might go AEW because we've seen him Lucha or not Lucha. Well, he's on Lucha
Mondo
Underground.
Lucha.
But we've seen him at Mondo Lucha. He was put on killer shows. I saw him also at some other little generic show. Yeah, so he'll get a gig.
He'll go wherever
He'll always
he
have
wants.
a job.
Yep, he'll get a gig.
And he's probably made a good amount of money. He doesn't seem like he's an idiot where he just spends it all. I just think he seems like a really down to earth guy. I mean, the dude, probably the closest. I was just about to say the closest thing to eating a carb that this guy has gotten to is probably eating a crouton in the past 10 years. The dude's got like a 12 pack. And so he's always going to be ready to go. He's just going to be like, okay, where is it? And I'll be there. Like, yeah, I was just kind of sad for him, but honestly, he's better off.
I wasn't, because he's doing stupid shit. So
that whole Miz relationship and the not funny comedy they did week after week. It's like, what a waste of a supreme talent.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the guy's one of the most athletic members of the roster, or at least he was while he was still on it. And they stuck him with a drip stick where he's shooting a syringe full of food, what it's supposed to be at different people. Yeah, total waste of talent.
For real. No, I mean, I'm happy to see him gone, but I just hate, why would you fire a talent? You know, that's kind of more what I was saying.
Totally.
But
it's probably best because trust me, they would have had him running for the 24/7 championship tonight.
Legend that he's doing that. Yeah.
You know,
he's well loved in the indies, and like you said, Charlie and everybody else, like he's gonna have a job. But so he's out of there. But the person who does deserve to get fired, one of the biggest pieces of shit in the company, finally, Jackson Riker got canned.
Unbelievable.
Sayonara, bitch.
Yeah.
Very
thoughts
surprised
and
he
prayers.
had a job that long. Yeah.
Maybe this round was actually due to budget cuts, because why else would you see him finally get let go?
Yeah, no shit. Like, what the hell? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's beating a dead horse at this time. But the fact that they got rid of 70 guys or whatever, or 70 people, and he was in the last group, not the first group, after what he did, and they fire the other dudes earlier. Oh, yeah.
So for those of our listeners who maybe don't know the whole story behind this, Jackson Riker, about a year ago, I want to say it was, maybe even longer ago now, was named amongst a lot of wrestlers in what was called the speaking out allegations, where a lot of women came forward talking about different things happening. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. I'm mixing it up with another
What he did
scandal.
was, it was during one of the Black Lives Matter big moments. He there's a protest. It might have even been Kenosha, but I don't remember for sure. But he came out and pro-Trump, and then he actually used his tagline "Forgotten No More" in part of his tweet. And there were numerous people, Kevin Owens, others, that just blasted him. So they quickly pulled them. They pulled all the Forgotten Sons, all three of them, off television, killed the storyline, and then fired the other two guys a couple months later. and then he came back, and they've tried him in these feeble storylines with like Elias, who is still missing, like but still hired.
He's
And,
probably going to get fired next in the next wave. I would be shocked if Elias.
But kind of
I
like
have
Baron
to.
Corbin, I think Vince just digs the guy because my prediction here. Let's make a friendly wager. I think he's going to have another big gimmick.
Who's that?
Elias or
Baron
Corbin?
Elias, I think Elias is going to be back.
Well, yeah, he said he's. I thought he was supposed to be coming back soon, so I'm unless he hold him off TV for a while. Because I thought he was. They were doing some vignettes where he was coming back. Maybe they held him off.
Yeah, Elias probably one of the. I don't want to talk too much crap about him because he did send me a killer cameo.
That is true.
But definitely one of the most entertaining guys on WWE television in terms of just his promos, the songs he would sing. Every week comes out, does the same thing, and it actually gets over every week. So not many guys can do that.
Like a modern day Roddy Piper.
Yeah, exactly.
And that dude is jacked. I mean,
He's a big dude.
Him and Boogs, that Guggenheim guy, they should team up and become like the new rockers since they both play guitar.
He's a Milwaukee dude, but he's a joke.
I can't believe he's still on TV.
He'll be cut soon. He won't make it through 20. He won't make it through 2022.
He's literally singing for his supper right now.
I mean, I give him credit because hey, he gets paid big money just to go out and play the guitar. Doesn't have to wrestle or take any bumps, but who's gonna want you after you're cut? You're gonna be doing gonna be a Blizzard Brawl doing fucking $20 and $40 meet and greets.
Actually, the best
speaking
photo.
of, I'm kind of amazed that have you guys heard anything about Bray Wyatt or like the other big guy? Nothing, dude. I think the only show I know Braun's doing Blizzard Brawl here, but
I did hear that. I think I heard Bray's going to be in a movie.
Yeah, I did hear that too. Yep. So I did hear that. Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of rumors, I think, that Bray might join AEW, but those kind of died out quickly, and then it sounded like people were leaning more towards Impact, which makes a lot more sense, I think, given his character, but we still haven't seen that play out either, so I don't know.
To be honest, it'd be cool to see him in AEW. I'm like, it'd be okay, but if I'd prefer him not to be there. I don't think they need him. Yep, exactly. That's kind of my thinking on it. It's like, what does he give? You're gonna have to pay him, and there's so many other guys coming up and out. Like you gotta pay O'Reilly, you gotta pay Owens.
That's what I said. Those are must-haves.
They'll probably end up signing Killer Cross. I bet. Because some of those guys probably like him, so he'll probably get signed.
Evan Owens would just be amazing in there. Yeah.
Owens is that's gonna be
question.
That's gonna be another game changer move when Owens goes over.
Absolutely.
I can't fucking wait to see the real Kevin Steen come out, man. You guys are gonna love it. Did you guys see Steen when he's in Ring of Honor or no?
So I didn't. I'll admit I was never a consistent watcher of Ring of Honor, but there was a stretch of time I did, and when he was kind of going strong, and he was just like, just merciless.
Really good.
And he started that. He started that in NXT when it's like he debuted. Everybody's happy to see him, and then in his debut night, he just freaking eviscerates Sami Zayn, who just won the title. That was awesome. And now he's a comedy act.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gets to do his shit, dude, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun because we're gonna get the fucking going to more fantasy booking too. He could, he might side with the Bucks because those are his boys. Because you get the Bucks and Steen versus Undisputed and a three-way kind of thing going. Feud that could be really good.
Oh, most definitely.
So many options they got at their disposal.
Exactly. That's the beauty of 2022 for AEW is going to be really good if they can land a lot of these guys coming in. Like you said, Keith Lee, him. It's going to be off. It's going to be off the charts, dude. Off the charts.
Yeah, I'm excited. I went back and watched some old Kevin Steen after you recommended Charlie on YouTube, and he was super impressive. I only got to see him a little bit in NXT, but then when he busted out shit that I'd never seen a big man do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's why. Because first I didn't like him. I was like, "Who's this guy?" Because when I was reading on him, like, "Who's this fucking guy talking?" Because I had never heard of him. And he was just talking shit, and he didn't wrestle. Then he started wrestling, and then he was talking shit. Then he had the whole kill Steen kill thing, and it was just wow. I was like, "This guy's fucking great, dude." It's like it's like the total like the same way with the Bucks. I was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" First time I saw him, like, "Who are these guys, dude?" I remember I went live, and they're like, "Oh, the Bucks are coming." Like, big deal. Never heard of them. Then I saw them like these fucking little guys with the tassels, the rockers. I'm like, what is this shit? Then I saw him work. I was like, oh shit. And then I saw him cut promos in New Japan and Ring of Honor. I was like, oh yeah, these guys got it, dude. These guys got it. These guys got it, dude. Yeah. So it should be fun.
Exciting times. I mean, that's the kind of the nice thing about the vacancy of Kenny Omega getting some well-deserved R&R, just to see what additions they're going to make, new storylines. He did a great job for a long time. He built a good following of, like Dynamite's been crushing it. And now it's like the end of that era, and now it's totally wide open now. But yeah. Speaking of things that aren't that exciting, though, Vince McMahon actually came out on Survivor Series, showed his face after cutting 70 members of his current roster. You'd think he would get booed, but no. The bootlickers that are the WWE fans were cheering, or it could have been just inserted applause and enthusiasm into the production of Survivor Series that I hear did not sell out that well, but it looked kind of full in there.
Tonight's even worse. Tonight they didn't even close to sell to second level. I guess they took people from the second level and they moved them all down to the first level.
Wow.
A good way to save some money.
Yeah, well, it's a good way to fill your crowd in too, because
it
would look like shit on TV.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, save some money as a fan. Be smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As a fan, yeah. If you're smart, if you're a smart fan, you wouldn't even bought tickets to that bullshit in the first place.
No.
I gotta think they gave them away. I mean, that's probably the best the cheapest entertainment you can get in New York was Survivor Series. I think it was probably $6.
People will buy that stuff, man. It's people.
Why 2 point however million
If you go on any wrestling page, something about WWF, those guys are fucking defending it. So, like I always say, dude, I hope you have stock in the company or work for the company, because the way you're defending these guys, you should be getting paid, dude.
And every one of them's got some Roman Reigns like avatar.
Yep, and they're fucking slow.
They're probably Russian. It's probably a Russian job. You know how they infiltrated the election a couple of years ago. Maybe Vince has the same thing.
I hope
going on,
and the Saudis,
possibly. I wouldn't put it past him. But anyway, Vince, showed his face on Survivor Series. Why did he need to come on the show? I have no fucking clue. I just think he has some kind of psychological syndrome where he needs to show his face. I mean, not to get political again, but kind of like Trump. Like when the country is literally burning, Trump is going on TV and saying, "Oh, we're fine." It's kind of the same thing what Vince did at Survivor Series here.
When you get that much money as he does, he just doesn't. He has no clue.
Clueless. He's in his lofty ivory tower. He doesn't know.
Yep.
Well, so I didn't actually watch Survivor Series live. I caught some of the highlights after the fact. I guess the reason for Vince showing up, was sort of twofold. Number one is The Rock just released a new movie called Red Notice. I think it's available on Netflix now. And the entire Survivor Series pay-per-view was this weird cross-promotion with that movie and Pizza Hut, which was just... I mean, if I was, 7 years old, which is great, it'd be fantastic. The problem is, I think WWE roster's key demographic is in their mid-60s, so they're not the kind of people who are going to be going to Pizza Hut and getting excited to get a toy in their food. So we have that. The golden egg, though, Mike, that you brought up earlier. So supposedly, and I'd have to double check this, or maybe the listeners out there can check me online, But this golden egg is something from the movie Red Notice, and Vince claimed that it's $100 million egg.
It's Cleopatra's egg.
Yes, right.
I saw that clip.
And by the end of the night, this egg had disappeared. So supposedly there was going to be some fallout tonight on Monday Night Raw regarding who stole the egg and what's going on with the egg. Because of all the things that happened on Survivor Series, the only story thread that could bleed over into the next show is this golden egg that Vince showed up with.
And if you wanted to get out of the company, why wouldn't you steal it?
Exactly. It's going to be Drake Maverick, and it's going to do where they're going to turn his fire ring into a story a second time.
Yeah. Man, I mean, I used to look forward to Survivor Series. It was always right around Thanksgiving. You know, you're feeling good. You're ready to chill out, eat some good food. I mean, you go back and watch those classic Survivor Series from the 90s. It was just fun. It was just a mismatch of a lot of wrestlers that you normally wouldn't see wrestle together, and you just had to watch and see what happens. Now there's literally, it's not wrestling is the furthest thing that they care about in the WWE.
Well, I heard
right
there
now,
was like almost like what, an hour and a half plus of non-wrestling
Yes.
at the pay-per-view, like between the segments and the entrances. There was that much non-wrestling at a pay-per-view that people, you know, well, I guess with the network it's an asterisk, but spend money on. And yeah, and you're right.
Well,
it's like, and then they force the stupid brand supremacy thing, which nobody gives a shit about because there's no. I mean, it's not a real
Nobody's
rivalry. And then you got Adam Pearce, is that his name, and Sonya Deville, which are like the authority figures of both shows. So what are they fighting over? You know, it's just it's so contrived.
It's very contrived, and the worst part. And I mean, you know, a lot of this, so obviously a lot of us here on Keep the Kayfabe listen to the What Culture podcast, and those guys make a lot of really good points. I think the one thing they do say every year, well, two things around Survivor Series time. Number one is it's a shame that WWE doesn't control the schedule when the pay-per-views occur. Oh, wait, they do. And the second thing is that they have a draft usually pretty shortly before the Survivor Series. In fact, I think for our listeners, if you go back and listen to, I want to say it was episode 58 or 59, where we interviewed Greg Gagne and Jim Brunzell. Those guys, Greg actually goes on and talks about WWE at that time had just performed the draft. And so all these wrestlers are shuffling around to different brands, you know, between Raw and SmackDown. And then Survivor Series is a month later. So when they talk about brand loyalty, it's kind of hard for a fan to buy into that when you've only been on that brand for a month. And, you know, the whole can they coexist storyline really plays into things because at that point, all these people are mixed up together. It's like nobody's loyal to anybody.
Right. Well, now they have the creme of the creme on the roster because all the shitbags are actually out of there and you only keep around the good ones. So that's why you got to tune in to watch. This is everybody there is
That's
significant.
good shit.
Oh. Well, I think that's enough time that we're going to spend on WWE. And yeah, we will see if there's more firings before the new year. That's the only thing that I've really been following.
Yeah, I thought they were done for the year, but you never know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're going to stop. There's really no timetable. It just seems like, let's trim a little fat. Let's have
It seems
fun.
like a very WWE thing to do to fire people on Christmas or Christmas Eve. So I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Vince is the new Scrooge.
Well, let's get back to some brighter times in the WWE, more like the WWF. Let's go to Promo of the Week. This one comes from my friend Dylan Struby from Muskego, Wisconsin. He's good friends with my other friend that submitted Promo of the Week last week, Matt Simpson. And he says, Gorilla Monsoon was my favorite commentator of all time. And I also can't miss a week of Keep the Kayfabe. It's my favorite show. So, all right, awesome. It sounds like we're getting out there between our close circle of friends. But if you have a promo of the week, hit us up with your favorite promo at Keep the Kayfabe on Instagram and Facebook, or hit us up on keepthekayfabe414@gmail.com. But without further ado, let's hear what Gorilla Monsoon has to say after he suspends the Ultimate Warrior for no-showing for 3 events. This should be interesting.
It is with great reluctance that I announce the indefinite suspension of the Ultimate Warrior. This suspension is a direct result of the Ultimate Warrior's failure to appear as advertised last weekend in Indianapolis, Detroit, and Pittsburgh. This suspension will be immediately lifted, however, as soon as the Warrior posts an appearance bond to ensure WWF fans that he will appear where advertised. However, the Ultimate Warrior is here tonight, as promised, and will wrestle Owen Hart. We remain hopeful that the Ultimate Warrior will soon post an appropriate appearance bond and return to action here in the World Wrestling Federation. Despite the immense popularity of the Ultimate Warrior, no one wrestler is above answering to our loyal WWF fans.
Gorilla Monsoon. He was one of the best. And
Yeah.
a real authority figure back in the WWF. He didn't put up with no shit.
Well, this was the era when Vince was continuing to cling to hopes that he could salvage the Ultimate Warrior, and that shitty horse was out of the shitty barn too already, and they couldn't be saved.
Yeah, it was good. I remember those times. Like Gorilla Monsoon, I loved. Before I knew anything about it, like I never knew that he was a wrestler and all this shit, and it's like it was like kind of cool. Finding all that stuff out. As you get a little older, like, holy shit, he was a wrestler. And you look back and then you learn more about the business, that all those old guys and those announcers and authority figures were really wrestlers, and how it all interplays. They're like guys that my dad watched and all this. Like now, the guys that, we know, like it's comes full circle, Like some kids are never, like growing up now, if Jericho goes into announcing, they're not going to know Jericho. Probably as a wrestler, they'll just know as an announcer. Then have to go back and figure out, oh shit, he was an announcer. Like Vince, like I loved it too. Like you didn't know back then Vince was the owner of the fucking WWE.
I didn't know that for a while. Yeah, I just thought he was the announcer.
The announcer, yeah, it was great. It was great being young and dumb.
And you always heard good things about Gorilla. Like I know, like Tony Schiavone, when I don't know if you guys remember, but he actually spent a year in WWE as an announcer, and that was an awkward situation. He was the voice of the enemy, and he goes over there, and there was people kind of wary of him. But he said that Gorilla looked out for him right away. So
I remember hearing that. He said Gorilla was cool with him. I do remember that, hearing that.
Well, and Gorilla Monsoon, his name will forever be ingrained in wrestling because they called the gorilla position.
Oh, gorilla position.
Yep.
Right
still
before
do.
you walk throughout the curtain, and they still do, because that's where Gorilla Monsoon used to sit right before you went out, and so he'll will be always in wrestling forever. So that's pretty cool. Not a lot of people can say that, honestly.
Yep.
So good stuff, boys, and we got to give a special shout out to our boy, former guest on the show, Baxter Belafonte, who is the new Brew City co-champion. Heavyweight champion. We went and just saw them wrestle in Waukesha.
Yeah, how was that show?
It was super fun. Super fun.
I've seen Brew City shows. I used to see them when they used to wrestle at the Knights of Columbus in West Dallas. That was good. Then they moved out to Waukesha a few years ago.
Yeah, the crowd was really into it. Like Mike said, big shout out to Baxter Belafonte and Maverick Boone, 2/3 of the luxurious ones, as they were.
Nice. Great name.
And if you haven't seen the luxurious ones live, you definitely got to check out a Brew City wrestling show, especially now that they're going to be at the top of the card for quite some time, now that they got a stranglehold on the heavyweight title.
Oh man, it was so fun. I was so proud. I was like, no way are they gonna. So it was a 2-on-1 title match. I was like, why would they put the title on a tag team? So I thought, have them out there to put on a great show. But within probably 30 seconds before the ending of the match, I started nudging Matt, and I was like, I think they're going to win, because they turned it on, and then I leapt up like a proud parent. I actually got a little emotional. I did a little bit of drinking during the day, but I was super proud, super fun. We got to party with them after the show. We went and bought as many White Claws as we could from the bar and partied with the luxurious ones, so shout out to them. Mav Boone and Baxter Belafonte, new Brew City champions, baby.
Cool. Here's
Yeah.
a little trivia question if you guys can answer it.
Yes.
What current two Ring of Honor wrestlers started out? Well, they wrestled at Brew City Wrestling.
Ooh. I want to say Silas Young was one of them.
That's one. Ding, ding,
Okay.
ding, ding. Good
Okay.
call. One more. Pretty easy.
Swoggle.
No.
Is it
They're in
the?
Ring of Honor right now, or have been in Ring of Honor last year.
When they were,
I want to
yes.
say the Brew City.
You got it. I'll give it to you. Beer City Bruiser. Yep. Good
That's
call,
right.
Matt. Matt wins it. Yep.
Ding,
I remember
ding.
seeing those. I remember used to see those guys there, and then they got their call up. So that I was amazed when the Beer City Bruiser got up, but Silas Young was always really fucking good there. It's like he was so good. It's like, dude, how is this dude here? He's like, how some guys just stand above. It's like he's really fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I
He
was
used
at
to come out to. He used to come out. His theme song there was. He used to come out to "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. It's
Nice.
fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome.
Wow.
That'll get the crowd
Yeah.
going.
There was a show a couple years ago.
Because people be singing it. It was awesome, dude. Yep.
There was a show a couple years ago. I think it was branded under MKE Wrestling at the time. I don't think they're
Yeah.
in business anymore.
That was started by Silas, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
then that would totally make sense because Silas did come out and cut a promo during the show, and you could tell immediately that guy's on a different level in terms
Yeah.
of just confidence
That's how it
and
was in the
swagger.
ring, man.
Yeah. So not surprising to see he's in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. And he had a chance, which is kind of funny how life takes you. How it takes a course, because I think they wanted him to go to NXT at the end. Like, it was still hot, but it was starting to change a little, but it was still hot. And he didn't take that deal, which was good and bad, because Ring of Honor is ending, and now NXT changed over, and they probably they would have cut him because he's probably older too, so it's just kind of funny how shit happens in life.
Yeah. Unpredictable.
For those of our listeners, by the way, who want to catch up on what's going on with Baxter Belafonte, one half of the current Brew City Wrestling heavyweight co-champions, you can go back and check out one of the previous episodes of Keep the Kayfabe where we interview Baxter. He tells us a lot of great stories about how he broke into the business, his time actually in Ring of Honor where he worked a few matches, his time as one of the half of the ICW Tag Team Champions. Guy's had a really cool career so far, so really exciting to see where he's at now. But go check out that previous episode of Keep the Kayfabe, get caught up to speed on what's going on with Baxter Belafonte, and then when he takes that next big step in his career, you can say, I've been following this guy since day one.
Nice, yeah.
That's what happens.
See if they have some stuff on YouTube.
That's what happens when you come on Keep the Kayfabe. You get that little career bump. So you got to you got to stay locked in with Keep the Kayfabe. And honestly, Matt, do you remember when me and you were talking with the Luxurious Ones after the match? And I was like, how did you guys do it?
That's awesome.
I do somewhat. We, like Mike alluded to earlier, we were both a little lubed up at that point, but I did talk to them about it. The match itself was pretty crazy. There was 2 ref bumps in the match. Really hard to tell what direction the match was going to go, but yeah, they were both couldn't have been more excited to win the title.
Well, he said the biggest credit of why they won the titles was the piece of advice that they take with them week after week.
Oh, right,
and it really helps them put them on the life path that they're on right now in their trajectory.
What is that? What is that advice?
Well, they were like, Mike, I gotta tell you, man, I took your advice from Keep the Kayfabe. It's stay humble, stay hungry, and stay hard.
Triple H.
Woo!
Shine.